Welcome to I Love My HBCU ? The podcast where we express our undeniable love for HBCUs, but where we are also not afraid to address a few tough questions. So, sit back, learn a little, love a lot, and rep your HBCU.
Hello, beautiful humans. It's another episode, another reason to love your HBCU. I have Skell as my guest today from Winston-Salem University. Let's get to it. I'm going to do that too because I love that. That's one of the best ones that I've seen. Okay, I'm getting right to it. Clock it. Okay.
Clock it.
Skell, rate Winston-Salem University on use any parameters that you feel like on a scale of 1 through 10. Rate your HBCU.
1,010. 1,000,010.
So that's a first.
One infinity and 10.
That's a first. Now share with the audience why such an amazing Richter scale rating. Go ahead.
Well, Winston-Salem State grows every year. Even from, there's sometimes when you go to school, you don't see any, progression till, maybe 3 years, 5 years. Like as soon as I left school, I was like, wait a minute, why y'all didn't have that when I was there? Wait, how did we get there? It progresses so much, so rapidly all the time. Winston-Salem has partnerships with NASCAR, with the city of Winston-Salem and the housing department. These kids are getting grown-up apartments that I'm just now affording right now, fully furnished. Like I said, we have a car in NASCAR. I just think it is just such an amazing thing that the higher eds and higher ups at Winston-Salem State are always thinking about what's next. What can we do more for this university? When I graduated, they opened up a brand new student center. Okay, and I love the Ram Shack now. We had some memories in the Ram Shack, but that new student center, child, I could have did another semester just to go to the student center. So, I mean, it's just so amazing that's always in the forefront. The motto: enter to learn, depart to serve, and it always starts with the head, right? The head of a snake. If it's doing bad, you cut the head of the snake off. But when it's doing good, the rest follows. And so, the alumni of Winston-Salem State is just impeccable. And it definitely comes from the leadership from the top. So Winston-Salem State is an amazing university to attend.
So, Skell, the reason why I ask people to rate their HBCU, but more importantly, to give us the reason behind the rating, is to hear things like this. I did not know. You just said that Winston-Salem State has a car in NASCAR. I did not know that. That's
Yeah.
A, that's amazing. B, I love the fact that when I hear the reasons why our guests love their HBCU, you said growth, you said progression, which means, this is what I'm hearing, things are not always the best, but we're always trying to do better. That's what I'm hearing.
Absolutely.
That's what growth means, right? It means you're not always satisfied with what is, but you're going to keep on trying to do better. So kudos to Winston State University, and kudos to Skell for being such an amazing ambassador for the HBCU to start off with. Okay.
Absolutely.
Tell us about you. You've got a beautiful story. You wear several hats that we just talked about before we actually started recording. And I want the audience to hear from your words. What drives your passion? What drives your soul?
Goodness gracious. Black people. God, I love the Black experience, right? It's a little dangerous over here, but it is so amazing, right? And I was just talking about this. You get into this routine, this hustle, this bustle, this go to work, this make money, this do this and do that. And then there's an opportunity to get around a lot of Black people, right? And all of a sudden you exhale. And you could have been holding that in for 6 months, a year, 5 years, 3 years, whatever. And then you don't even realize how you've been holding your breath, the mask that you've had on until you get around your people. And I mean in the simplest of ways. Going home for Thanksgiving, right? And getting around your family, going to HBCU homecoming, something like that where you realize like, oh my God, just the energy that we exude is so healing and therapeutic. So like just like thank God I was born black. Like I don't know what I would do if I wasn't born black. Like that would be just such a tragedy. So just being black, the black experience, the black progression is just is nothing like it.
My entire soul went warm when, and I wrote it down. I like to write things down so I don't forget, because I'm going to use this. All of a sudden, you exhale. That felt so, just hearing you say it, my shoulders just relaxed because you're so right. And it's a feeling.
Yeah.
I don't think it's something you can describe. It's
And
just
you're
a
not thinking
feeling.
about it.
It just happens. I love it. I
It
absolutely
literally
love
just
it.
happens. I told you, like I work in healthcare. That's not my center anymore, right? But I worked at a facility, and the section of healthcare. I'm in physical therapy. We are in most cases the minority. So I worked at a facility that is, mostly white people. This is what it is. But in the evenings, I would go to a facility that was mostly black people, and every time I exhaled, every
Yeah.
time my shoulders relaxed. And it was just, I'm not saying I'm not even saying in the instance of experiencing any type of racism. I don't think for the majority of the time, I did not. Um, they were genuinely nice people. They were
Yes.
fine. My
Yes.
work environment was fine,
Yeah.
but just getting around my people just felt so good. So and that would be a daily thing, and it regenerated and rejuvenated me every single time.
So I love this conversation. I do. And I love it because, and you'll see how my mind just webs all over the place based on what you just said. We're in 2025, 47 is president. Um, and we are seeing there's always been a little bit of an attack, if you ask me, against black people, black and brown people, but I'm speaking of black people in this particular instance, and it feels a little bit more right now. And you said something that I think all of us, and by all of us, regardless of the color of your skin, should feel a little bit more comfortable saying out loud, I don't have to dislike you, i.e., someone from another race, to also admit to you that when I'm with my people, when I'm with people who look like me, there's an
Hmm.
unspoken comfort, there's an unspoken relaxation that just happens. And it
Yeah.
infiltrates everything that we do. It infiltrates the way I'm going to speak to you. It infiltrates the way I'm going to
Facts.
treat you. And I think
Facts.
because I think when we do it, it's called a bias. When we do it, it's called, oh, they want special treatment. But everybody does it.
Every
Everybody
group
does
does
it.
it. Every
Every
group
group.
does it. Every group, and it's, but it's just so much more acceptable for there to be. I told you I live in New York. For there to be a Chinatown and all the Chinese people do business with each other. When you go to Chinatown, everything is written in Chinese. It makes sense. That
Absolutely.
is their group. But that's okay to have a Chinatown. That's okay to have a little Italy. It's okay to have all these spaces. But when black people, we try to get together and congregate and do business with each other, then we're seen as being exclusive, which is insane.
Yes. 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 Wow. Wow. As obvious as it is, I've never put those two things together. So people who are watching are going to be like, is she ignorant? I don't care what you say. I've never put those two things together. But you're
Right.
so right. I do not know a big city that I have gone to that does not have a Chinatown. I just don't know. And I also know cities that have a Greek town as well. You are so right. But when we do it, oh, they're trying to be, Okay. Okay, Tosin, don't get on your
It's a revolt.
soapbox.
Just because we're congregating with each other, all of a sudden we're trying to overthrow somebody. Like, no, we just want to chill. We just want to, I want to be around somebody who knows what outside smells like.
Yes.
And I don't
Yes.
have to explain it.
I don't have to
I don't have
explain
to
it.
explain it.
I don't have to explain it. Skell, you and I might have to have this conversation offline because the way my brain is traveling right now, it is answering so many questions with regards
Yeah.
to how we're seen as threats, how we're seen as so powerful. And I think we need to tap into that strength and power. That's really what I
Absolutely.
think, as
Absolutely.
opposed to accepting their labeling of us. Okay, Skell, let me pivot for 2.5 seconds. I'm going to throw the rapid fire segment at you, and I cannot
Oh,
wait to hear yours. Yes,
I
she
love
wasn't
games. I'm
expecting that. She's like,
competitive.
oh,
So
I love
competitive.
it. I absolutely love it. Okay, so are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do this. Describe your HBCU experience in one word.
Transformative.
Transformative. I like that one. I've heard that one a few times. It's true. If your time in college was a song or a movie, which one would it be?
If my time in college was a song or a movie, I'm gonna go with Stomp the Yard, right? And I think every generation of HBCU students had their thing that sent them to an HBCU. So mine was Stomp the Yard or Drumline.
I
It
love
was like,
it.
oh,
I love
I
it.
gotta do that. I got what that is. I gotta do it. I didn't play any instrument, but like
Instruments.
I'm like, oh no. I gotta go. I gotta go to the HCC. That's what we get to do. So I'm gonna say that because it definitely. I just remember being in high school when both of those movies came out and how proud we were as black students, as like excited we were, and so that electricity I don't think has ever left me. So to just describe the HBCU experience, like that was our thing.
It hasn't left you. It's not, I don't think. It hasn't left you because
Never
almost
will.
everything you say is about the black progression and black culture. So it's never leaving you. It's absolutely never leaving you. So both of us just ran out the rapid fire segment, but I'm still going to ask you two more questions just
Okay.
because. Um, if you remember, what was your best meal in college?
My best what?
Meal.
So this is gonna sound so crazy. We had this bowl of soup, right? And me and my friends called it stuff. I don't know why, but because it had a lot of stuff in it. It was just like a mixture of different things, but we were so excited. We like, yo, they got stuff here. Like we made up a name. We could have literally just said, hey, what is this soup that we are consuming? We just
Consuming
called it stuff. So
stuff.
whenever I think about going to the cab, whenever I think about, of course you got your chicken Wednesday, you got your fish Friday, but I always think about stuff and how much we
Stuff.
love stuff.
I love it. I love it. Stuff. Okay. Okay. Was it gumbo-esque?
It wasn't gumbo-esque. And it was all vegetables. It was a lot of vegetables, and then we were like, you know what? We're gonna do our vegetables now that we are grown-ups, and
Of
you're not a
course.
grown-up in school. I just want everybody to know you are not a grown-up. This right here, this is grown-up. In school, that was fun. That was
That
fun.
was
Fun up.
fun. Fun up.
But yeah, so like it had a lot of vegetables, and it wasn't like a thick consistency, and so yeah,
It was just stuff. It was just
stuff.
stuff.
It's got
It
a
was
bunch
just
of stuff
stuff.
in there.
It was just stuff. Shout out your favorite professor or person at your HBCU.
Shalee Broussard. Shalee freaking push even to this day, Shalee pushes me where I don't think I've peaked. I don't think I've peaked as a person, but sometimes Shalee will call me, I'm talking about a month ago, and say, I need you to do this. And I'm like, Shalee, am I qualified for this? Do I have enough experience for that? Mm-hmm. I'll see you soon. All right. So she was the campus life and marketing committee advisor when I was there, and now her role has expanded so
Of
much.
course.
And yeah, and so like shout out to Shelly for again pushing me while I was in school, pushing me now. She probably gonna be pushing my kids. Like, yeah, that is you need somebody like a Shelly in your life.
I love that. I love that, and I love the smile on your face when you were talking about her. So it tells me, because I have those relationships with some of my former students where it's no longer teacher student, it's not even mentor mentee, it's
Yeah.
respectful friendship. It's respectful
Hmm.
friendship because the smile on your face was like, this person cares about me, and this person is
So
going to
much.
keep pushing me. And I love how you said, I haven't even peaked now. I know I haven't peaked, and she's going to
Yeah.
keep pushing me. You do need a Shalee Broussard in your life. I love it. I
Yeah,
absolutely love it.
absolutely.
Why Winston State University? Give me your college selection journey. You are in a state
Man,
that's got several HBCUs. Or rather, you
absolutely.
went to a state that's got several HBCUs. How, why, and how?
No, I'm from North Carolina. Shout out to North Carolina. Shout out to the Bull City, Durham, North Carolina specifically, right? Where the illustrious North Carolina Central University does reside, right? So, I mean, God, I look back on the mo. Can I tell another a little snippet story?
Please,
My
absolutely.
parents are HBCU grads, right? And I found my mom passed away when I was in high school. I found her book, like her senior book, right? And in her book, she said, I don't know if I'm going to go to college or I might go to the military. And I'm like, who would I have been if my mom didn't go to Elizabeth
Oh,
City State University and meet my dad? Like the the small thread you have throughout life, you know? And so we get to when I was making a decision to go to college. So like now it's this beautiful push to go to HBCUs, do the thing, be around your people. But when I was in school, it was you took it was like still the kind of the talented 10th mentality. You need to go to the big schools because like not only does North Carolina have a lot of HBCUs, North Carolina has a lot of schools period, and within a short distance, like you can go to Duke and Carolina and NC State and Wake Forest in the same dang on day. You know what I'm
easily,
saying? So
yes.
like easily, and like literally like easily is like one of the reasons why Duke and Carolina is such a big rivalry. Like they can go to the same dry cleaners. Like it's a hot it's anyway. So so that's what I was doing. I was applying for schools that were not HBCUs, but I went to a predominantly black high school. This is what
Okay.
saved me. It's
Mm,
and again to the point of like why you need to be with your people. So my daddy, a HBCU grad, my principal, a HBCU grad, sat me down. So like let's talk about that. My daddy and my principal know each other well enough so my daddy can come to the school and sit me down. And they said, actually, you're going to a HBCU. I said, okay.
done.
I guess. And so exercise science major. Winston-Salem State was the only HBCU with the exercise science major. So I said, okay, I'm apply to Winston. So the only no, I mean, well, you had your college decision days, so like you got accepted when they came to the school,
Sure.
but like that's the only school that I think I sought out, got in, thank God. And I went to like a open house maybe,
Yes.
or and I said, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? Of course I'm going to an HBCU. And then this is the time like when we were applying for college, like again, the drum lines and the Stomp the Yards came out, and I'm like, what was I
Thank
thinking?
it. Like, how could I almost have gone somewhere else?
How
Like,
could I mean, and now I can't even fathom it. Again, that's that thin line. Like who would I
yes.
have been if I did not go to a HBCU? It's so scary to think about. I don't even like to, at times. So shout
There,
out to Winston.
shout out to Winston Salem State, but also I I love that I do this. I love that I get to speak to you. Um, because there is a black student somewhere in high school who is going to watch you the same way there was one that watched Charles Blow. We had Charles Blow on the podcast, I believe last year, or earlier on
Mhm.
this year, and he told a similar story, but Grambling State University and Louisiana. I need more and more of Black kids at different schools, high schools. I don't care if you're at an all Black high school, an all
Mm-hmm.
predominantly other high school, but to hear the Skells, to hear the Charles Blows, and hear the pride of Blackness, and
Yeah.
hear the pride of being nurtured through that
Oh God.
Blackness, because
Absolutely.
it gives you voice. You have a voice. Like, I hear you having a distinct voice that you know your voice. And because I'm with a lot of college students every day, I hear that they're seeking and trying to find their voices. And I need them to hear from you that
Yeah.
go to an HBCU, and I promise you, you're going to find it. Because why
You
would
know
you
what my
go
dad
somewhere
said? He said, you need to find yourself with people that look like you.
else? Yeah,
And you don't know, as a kid, and this is another thing, where like if you did, I hear a lot of, Black kids. Well, I'm from a Black neighborhood and I went to a Black high school. And when you go to an HBCU, you figure out there are so many different types of Black people. You are not, it's not just where you grew up. And then you're a kid, you're 18, God, you don't know anything. You don't know any dang old thing. And it's such a beautiful statement now that I'm so much older to say you don't know anything, but that's good. You're so much more malleable. That's so beautiful that you don't know anything. And if you open your mind, you can learn so much stuff, and finding yourself and doing that with people that look like you, where it's safe. It's
yes,
so safe to make mistakes with people that look like you. We can crack a little joke or two on it
of
about it. You know
course,
what
of
I'm saying?
course,
But like there
of
is the
course.
space and the opportunity to grow. And so you think when you go to an HBCU, you're gonna lose out on learning about other people and other cultures. God, there's so many you will learn. You will learn about so many different types, like subcultures within the whole Black
Absolutely,
umbrella. Because
absolutely,
HBCU is a subculture of Black community, of Black culture, right? And so there's just so many different types of Black people, and like you just got to go to an HBCU and see it, man. And we all learn how to navigate that experience together. It's nothing like it.
Thanks for inviting me to exhale. I just exhaled, literally, listening
Yeah.
to you say
Yeah,
that.
but y'all need to have on the podcast my daddy. God, that man is so. I mean, it was like I said, like it's just these little itty bitty things. Because I had so many teachers like, you need to go to UNC, you need to do this, you need to do that, and it like he's such a smart and intuitive man. Like even when I was going to school, and he told me you need to study Spanish. I wanted to study French. You need to study Spanish. Oh, Dad, you're ruining my life. No, he's so freaking smart. I have not had to speak a French word literally now. Working in New York, I work in the Bronx. A lot of my patients can't even
I
speak
speak, yeah,
English.
yeah.
I ain't said a
Wow,
French word yet. I haven't need to.
wow,
I haven't a need to say. Like he is just so smart. So I mean, it maybe you don't have my daddy up here, but like just the elders, y'all, in our community, God, they have so much knowledge like locked into them. And
absolutely,
so like sometimes because of how they grew up, they don't know how to express it. But I think as us as a generation, a more expressive generation, going to them and saying, "Can you just talk about this?" Like will just open up a floodgate. So.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. You've mentioned a few times now. You are in New York. You work in healthcare. One of our biggest social issues, whether anybody likes it or not, is the state of healthcare. And healthcare, as with most things in the United States of America, or perhaps in the world, is not created equal. And I
Mhm.
don't want to harp on just the state of Black women and their lack of adequate health care. And this is statistically accurate, whether anybody wants to
No,
argue it or
absolutely.
not. It is statistically accurate. What would you say? What would you say to the next generation of HBCU students who are entering the healthcare world? What should they either watch out for, or what do they need to pay attention to a little bit more?
So, one thing that absolutely gets me choked up even thinking about it right now is seeing students get white coats. And seeing these huge classes of Black students going to be doctors. And that's like what we need. We need to, so they're in that space, a doctor, a nurse, well, they're the ultimate expert, right? And so, so it's almost like a power dynamic, right? And it's not like an
Mm,
intentional thing, but like they're the expert, they know, you know what I'm saying? And so I think sometimes people take advantage of the power dynamic. I think sometimes healthcare professionals get weary in their well doing, they get uppity, they get snippety, and so it's like you just assume everybody understands. Like, you had diabetes for years, you should understand. Like, no, it's not a thing. There's plenty of times where I walked into a Black patient's room and they've exhaled. I walked into a Hispanic patient's room and they have exhaled because they know that, like, they're not going to be seen as inferior if they don't understand every little thing that's going on with them, right? And so, another thing is, like,
wow.
we every disease, every issue, whether, I mean, from anxiety to eczema, does not present the same on white
Yes.
skin and Black skin, right? And
Yes.
so, a lot of Black people get misdiagnosed because it doesn't present how it was in this textbook. It doesn't present how, you might have seen it in your community, and so you're more keen and focus on your community. You want the best for your community. That is not a bad thing. I don't agree with that at all. And so it's like now you have, Black people being able to diagnose what an ailment in the Black community because you understand what it might look like, right? So spending that time, and I think so. What Black people need to know going into the healthcare system is just to be you, like,
Mm,
don't try
mm.
to assimilate that. You're never going to be accepted,
Wow.
you know in the way that you think, you know what I'm saying? Like, you always, what we grew up with, you had to be 2 times better to be seen as. And I think we need to throw that away. We need to throw away respectability politics. Be yourself, and and people will gravitate towards you. The right staff will gravitate towards you, the right patients. There's plenty of times where, like, my personality and the patient's personality does not mix. That is okay. Switch. Okay, you give me that patient, I get that patient, and it's fine, right? But, like, just to, like, bang your head against the wall, trying to be accepted, trying to make somebody believe you, trust you, because there's somebody that's going to do it naturally. There's somebody that's going to want you just for you being you, right? And so I guess that's probably a life lesson. Like, gravitate towards who gravitates towards you, and you don't have to barge your way into something. You can create something else. So
So I want to get to, because you're also the host of the dressing room and founder of the HBCU Fit Check. I absolutely want to get to the HBCU Fit Check, but
so much stuff.
she wears
So
so
much
many
stuff.
hats, guys. She
I
wears so
literally
many
just got
hats.
off a pod, Queens of the Yard podcast, powered by HBCU Game Day. And you know what? Like, I'm tired. I got I gave up Red Bull for Lent. Don't talk to me. Don't put no comments about the dangers of Red Bull. All right, just stop it. This my thing, and it's my thing. But I sit back and I'm like, God, thank you that I Love My HBCU reached out to me. Thank you that HBCU get, like, thank you. Like, this is everything that I want, and that's why I said at the beginning, like, healthcare is decentered in my life. If tomorrow somebody offered me a bag to leave healthcare, I will. I have helped so many people. That's a good. I'm in physical therapy. I never really explicitly said that, and so I've helped. So I've seen it. That's what the beautiful thing about physical therapy. You see the progression
You
day by
see
day.
the
As a doctor,
progression.
you write a prescription. Hopefully it works, but it don't work because the people come back and help you. In physical therapy, you see them every single day. I've helped so many people, so many different backgrounds. I can leave healthcare and feel like I made a difference.
I've
I
done
made
my
my mark.
yeah.
I've done my part. But, like, this is, I think, my community needs me. This is where I'm needed. My HBCU community is so dear, and it's like it's every portion of my heart. And so I don't care if I'm tired. I don't care if I've said this a million times. Like, no, just the opportunity to do this is just, again, and I'm a crybaby. I want to cry so bad because this is everything that I've ever wanted. So, what was I about to say? What was I about to say? Hold on. I don't even know.
I love hearing you just talk. I hear somebody who knows herself, even if she might still be finding different parts of herself. I hear
Yeah.
somebody who knows herself. I hear somebody who is confident in what she brings to the table and
Mm,
confident in what she has done. I also hear somebody who is so sure about what her purpose and her passions are. So I
yeah.
wasn't going to interrupt you. I would just keep listening to you talk because there's somebody that needs to hear you say every single thing that you just said the way you
Yeah.
said it without me interrupting you. Because if I am getting this confidence, this you said something that the Tosins, the Chris's, the Nayas, and I'm just mentioning people on my team here, need to hear. When you put in your all, you know the impact that you've made. You said,
Yeah.
if somebody gives me a bag tomorrow to leave healthcare, I know I've made an impact. I know I've done what healthcare and what that hat of mine required me to do. So I
Yeah.
will gladly leave. I think so many people need to hear that because so many people stay stuck in spaces just because they're
Because it's
still making
comfortable.
impact and it's comfortable does not mean there isn't another calling on you. But before I get to HBCU Fit Check, there's something you said that I want you to expound on. You said, throw away respectability politics. And the reason why I want you to expound on that is right afterwards, you also said, gravitate towards those who gravitate towards you. And you also said, you're not always going to be the right person in the room for a patient, as an example. Most of us are stuck in respectability politics. And I personally think that it's what has gotten us to the slight mess that we're in now as a country.
I agree. I
So I
agree.
want you to expound, because you're going to say it better than I ever will, to be extremely honest with you, what you mean when you say throw away respectability politics.
I think, like you said, it holds us back, right? You're spending too much time trying to please others, trying to assimilate into whatever. And I am not meaning a black and white thing, right? I just mean even all black people are not gonna get ain't gonna
Ain't gonna.
agree, ain't gonna be friends. It is what it is, okay?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
so it, you will grow so much more when you just spend the time with people that want to spend time with you, with things that seek you out, right? Because again, as an 18-year-old, I had no idea where this HBCU journey was going to take me, right? But it came to me. My dad and my principal, like, and I don't know, and maybe you guys are close with y'all principals too. I don't know, but my dad and my principal sat me down and said, "Go to a HBCU." HBCU came to me, right? And now we are here.
Mm.
And if I had pushed it away, what naturally came to me, right? And what if I, did a full circle, like, yeah, spent all this time? I mean, how many times do we spend all this time to get to the conclusion when you could have went straight to it, but because you didn't think it was right, you wasn't ready, you weren't this, that, and third. That's why whenever Shelly tells me you're gonna do this, I'm gonna do it.
You're
I
gonna
don't know
do it.
where, I don't know what lies within that that's going
Absolutely.
to then take me to the next level. But like Shelly came to me, she found me. She doesn't have, she doesn't have to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's something in that. even if I'm scared, even if I don't feel ready, qualified, whatever, but there's something in that I need to get to the next level. So stop holding yourself back, right? Just go through the path, and guess what? If you fail, it's so much beauty in failing. You get a final answer. Something I always say, I want to leave this world trying everything that I said, and whether I fail, whether I succeed, I know the answer. Do you want to lay on your deathbed and say, what if? I think that will send you to glory quicker than anything. That will send you to glory quicker than anything. If I fail, okay, cool, just try something else. It's fine. And I think, and it's definitely another systemic thing. It's definitely a thing in our community that like we didn't have a choice, and I think we have to make the choice. You can't listen to what your mom and dad said. You can't like let other people's opinions, if they didn't make it, and then you go ahead and put that on somebody else. Well, I
Mm.
didn't make it in this, so now you ain't go. No, it just wasn't your path. You failed, but you have a definitive answer, and now you can move on to the next thing or try, that thing a different way. And so, yeah, just stop spending so much time trying to make people come to you. Your light, your aura brings people. What you put out into the universe, whether good or bad, brings brings what you need to you. So just it's so much freedom.
Mm,
It's like
mm,
cool. It's just so much freedom
mm.
in shedding, trying to be something that you're not, trying to say not instead of ain't. Like, no, it's just so much freedom. Like I say, you spend all this mental capacity trying to say, um,
The
not instead of ain't
respectable
or
thing. There we
whatever.
go.
Yeah, and you could have moved on. You could be on step 3, 4, 5, but you still on step 1 because you're trying to figure out the right, the best, the whatever way to do it. Just do it. I'm a very much a build a plane while it's flying person, and I get some people got to have it all together. Nah, just get up there. I mean,
Stop flying.
grab it. You can just grab it. It's fine. It's fine.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I was smiling and writing. Whenever you see my head down, I'm literally just writing. You are so quotable. You said there is so much. You are so
I love
quotable.
that. I love that.
There is so much beauty in failing. You get a final answer. That is a mic drop. I'm going to create the quote for you as a picture quote and send it to you. I'm not
All
kidding.
right, please. I
I
would love that.
am.
I would love
I
that.
am.
I would
I
love that because
absolutely love it.
again, being in healthcare and being in physical therapy is so different. You get to see people who um they think they made and they probably have. I can't sugarcoat it. They probably have just made a lot of wrong decisions where like, and one of the ones that sticks with me the most is people, I went to work every day. I never missed a day of work. I did this, I did that. I thought when I retired, I was going to be able to travel and spend time with my
Yeah.
kids and doing all these things. And you got people on the hospice bed thinking the same thing. You don't know. You
We
don't know
don't
what your
know.
timeline is. You need to rest. You need to try new things. You need to travel. Like, and there's some people who we get better and they are able to do those things, but there's some people that get stuck in their situation and all those plans just go out the window. And then it's like, well, what if I had just took that break? What if I had just took that vacation? What if I had just, and that is, like I said, I think that kills people quicker
Yeah.
than what they're actually going through.
All right. HBCU Fit Check. Talk about it.
Man, let me tell you how that is the center of my HBCU experience. I love fashion. Again, things that come easy to you, right? I'm not saying, oh, I'm the best dressed person in the whole entire, like, I'm not saying that. And I'm a pretty good dressed person. I say, if I do say
Listen,
so myself. But
absolutely.
I love clothes. I love textures. I loved all these things even as a kid. I remember like going to Walmart, I was a kid. I knew what they told me to do and picking these things out. My love for fashion came naturally to me. But,
Mm.
again, as a community, it's, make sure you get a good job and you do this and you do that. So this is something that I love from the beginning. So then I get to mix what I've loved forever with what I found that I love together. And HBCU Fit Check, I don't care what nobody says. HBCU culture is Fashion Week. I'm in New York, and New York is great, but you go to a homecoming. Okay, go to a HBCU homecoming. That's where the fashion starts, right? And okay, for example, boots on the ground, where you stand, like, right? Louis Vuitton just made a
I
fan
saw it.
purse.
I saw it. I saw it.
We
When
drive
we
everything.
do.
We drive everything, but we own nothing. That's another whole nother conversation, child. Let me go back to the HBCU Fit Check. So, we drive everything. Everything you see on the runway, you think it went runway to real life. It's always real life to runway. So, I get the opportunity
Wow.
to show you guys, to show the world that this is where fashion lives. This is where fashion dies. And we say what's in, we say what's out, and that's in everything. But in fashion. And so just to get to mix those two worlds together and like really like make a career out of it.
Mm.
Another thing, I'm making it. It wasn't there. It wasn't a thing. And I'm like, you know what? Let me make, and it was so accidental, and that's the other beautiful thing about it. I'm a content creator. I love creativity, and I do, get ready with me, the things,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
And I went to homecoming, Winston's homecoming, and I said, I don't just love my fashion. I just love everybody's fashion. And
Every
I said, the title of the video was my favorite outfits at homecoming. Something whack now that I got HBCU Fit Check. And but it
I don't think it was
went
bad though. I was about to
crazy.
say, yeah, that was good. It was
It
good.
was a little, it was a wordy. Let's say that
Okay,
HBCU
just a
Fit Check
little
is
bit wordy. Just a little.
rolls off the tongue.
It
Not
does.
my favorite outfits at WSU. God, can you put
Okay,
that on a
okay.
shirt?
Yeah, that you can't. It will take up the entire front and back.
Front
That's
and
so
back.
true. So true. So true.
But it went insane, like, and it wasn't, and that's the beauty thing. The beautiful thing about it is, I just wanted to do it because I loved it.
You loved it.
This is something that I love, and it went insane. People, because not only am I putting the content out, people are like, oh, I got one of the best outfits at homecoming. They're sharing it. Oh, look at my homegirl. They're sharing it. Schools have shared my HBC. Like if I went to like when I went to Virginia State and shared my HBCU picture. It is insane.
Absolutely.
So when it went crazy at Winston homecoming, I had no intentions of going to any other homecoming that year. I said, "Oh no, this is a thing."
It's a thing.
I quickly changed the
Quickly.
schedule and went to Shaw's homecoming. I went to North Carolina Central's
Absolutely.
homecoming. And it got in the same response. It was the
I love
same
it.
response.
I love it.
I said, "Oh no, this is a fit check tour."
Tour.
And then the rest of it,
Yes.
3 years later, we here.
We're still, I love it. I love it. What is your, if you have one, if you don't have one, it's perfectly okay. What is your vision for the HBCU Fit Check Tour?
Oh girl, oh girl, I absolutely have a
She,
vision. I'm
she,
thinking tour bus.
remember you said that
Um,
you drive the plane, you just get in the plane and start driving it. So that's why I'm asking you if you have a vision. Okay.
But no, that was flying the plane. I had my iPhone. I just had my phone. Man, why I gotta do a visual? Because I just had my phone. I didn't have an editing app.
Yeah.
Like I just put videos together.
Together.
But so I'm like, okay, how do I because one time I lost a clip and it was like and I was like, well, how the heck do I keep myself from losing clips? Oh, putting in the editing app. So that's what so I was building it while I was
And you're
flying it for
building. I
sure.
love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I'm thinking tour bus.
Yes.
I'm thinking, yeah, oh, HBCU Fit Check tour. Like we pull up, you already know that we're here. But the thing that excites me is, okay, so you got a tour bus. Who's gonna drive? Okay, I get a black driver. Okay, I also want to do behind the scenes. Okay, who can you get? I can get a black videographer. I can get a black photographer. It's gonna get to the point where my face is so recognizable. Am I gonna be able to move? Like right now, some people do know me, and it's beautiful. I love that when people say, "Don't you ain't you the girl?" But like it's gonna get to a point where like, how am I going to? Because the thing about it is, it's so stealth, right? Like I don't know. I'm going to FAMU. I don't know who's popular. I don't know who is known for being this and that. Man, I have videoed people and I always tag them. I've had people with
Mm,
300
mm,
followers.
mm,
I've had people with
mm.
500,000 followers. It doesn't matter. It's the dress, it's the style, it's whatever I see, and I make sure it's a wide range of style, not just what I like, not just what I would see myself in, just good freaking outfits, right? And it's gonna get to a point where like people are like, oh, that's the girl, and I don't want it to be inauthentic.
Mm, mm,
Get me,
mm.
get me. I don't want to get to that point, right?
Absolutely,
So I'm like, okay,
absolutely.
yeah, I get to do interns. I'll get to do so it's like I think about how many people I can employ that look like me, in interns, people who got pushed into healthcare like me, and I do love helping people. I
Of
love healthcare,
course,
but
of
like, what
course.
would have been what if I could have just went straight into creativity, being on, YouTube? Like, what if I went straight there into that path instead of so, people like that, and so I just think about,
Skell, you couldn't have
um,
done that because we needed you. Those patients needed you at that
mhm,
time. The same way the HBCU world, all 101
I
HBCU
love that.
university world needs you now. Remember
Yeah, I love that.
you need to coin the black progression. You've used that in so many different phrases, even when
Oh,
you're not using the phrase, everything about you, the black progression. That's you. You need to coin that. So, yes, we
oh, I
needed
love
you in
that.
healthcare then. We need
Yeah,
you in the content creation world
eh,
and in the fashion world now.
I
Skell,
love that. I love
you and I
that.
could talk for the next 3 hours quite easily, quite
I'm
easily.
here. Whatever you
You are
need, whatever
easy
you
to talk
need.
to. You are so easy to talk to, and I love it. But is there something that you're like, Tosin, you know I wear several hats. Why didn't you mention this? Is there something that you know the audience needs to hear before we dim the lights?
Is it over already? Um, God. Um, so, one thing that I do love is I host a fashion audio room. It's called the dressing room. And first of all, I love again something I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. If I get one person to get online with me and talk about fashion for an hour or whatever, I'm straight. But no, a, it has been a community of people that like that are just obsessive just like me, but the more beautiful thing is it's on a black owned platform. It's called Fanbase, and it
Yes,
has like everything that you need: a social audio room, like TikTok short form content,
of course.
YouTube long term content, and it's so freaking beautiful that like I said, it's a black platform.
Black
And that
progression.
that,
Do you
that
hear the theme? Black progression in everything she does. Everything she does. Sorry, go ahead.
Absolutely, because like, and there's so many people who are like, you need to take this off of fan base and put it here and put it there. And I'm like, nah, like, why would I take it off this black owned platform? And I get it, like, 'cause with so many social media apps, it's you have to compete, right? And then the thing
Yeah,
is, like,
yeah.
with the thing that an Instagram didn't have to do is like there wasn't something comparable to Instagram to say, well, why don't you have this feature? Now I don't have that feature. But if you can think about just singularly Instagram's progression and where it went, and all the things, like we let it grow organically. And that's the thing that I hate about fan base. Like, some people now are not letting it grow organically.
Yeah.
They're like, well, why doesn't it have this like Instagram? Why isn't, well, when did Instagram get it?
Time to grow, guys.
Give it
You see, we
time.
literally could.
God.
This is why I said you and I could talk for 3 hours. We do that to ourselves. We
We
do.
do it to
We
ourselves.
are so
It's us.
critical of our own, and we forget that all of these others did not start where they are now. They started janky. Everything starts janky. Can we be honest
Janky.
about that? Can we just be honest about that?
Instagram was so freaking janky
Everything
when it
starts
first
with
started, but it was
janky.
fine because we were it was new and it
You
was
weren't
exciting, so we were
comparing it to
fine.
anything. You had
You didn't
nothing
have
to
anything to
compare
compare
it
it
to.
to.
So let let us. It's why I love how people have bandied around Teflar and other Black designers who people may not necessarily know, but you gave them time to breathe. Give them time to
Absolutely,
grow.
breathe. That's a good one. Breathe. Give them time
Skell,
to breathe.
like I said, and I'm gonna say it now, it is not possible for anyone to log in and watch this podcast and not like and subscribe to I Love My HBCU because of you. You are an amazing gift to Black culture. And I know I am looking forward to seeing the HBCU Fit Check tour bus. It is going to happen. And when it happens, I'm going to be somewhere in the world screaming for you, like, oh my
Please come.
gosh,
You can come
look.
and sit on the bus and we can do it like a live pod, you know?
Absolutely,
Like,
absolutely,
I'm on the
absolutely.
bus.
I'm
We
on
shaking
the
like this. I'm
bus,
on the bus.
guys.
You're
I
more than
absolutely
invited.
love
You're
it.
more
No,
than invited.
it's you eat. Listen, if I have to knock hard and say, remember you said, because we recorded it, you cannot kick me off this bus, okay?
And like play it. Like you
This was
remember this
you.
moment.
Remember what you said? Skell, end this episode for us by telling us in one word or short phrase why you love HBCUs.
Oh, you said a short phrase. I'm like, in one word.
You can
How?
go a short
I
phrase.
love.
Skell is not going to go one word. Go short phrase.
I know. I often am like, am I too wordy? God, I just love the words, word salad. Hopefully, they're meaningful words. God, one. What HBCU is?
Why you love one word or no,
Why
no,
I
no. Let's not do
love.
one
Why
word.
I
A
love.
short phrase. Why you love HBCUs.
Because of the legacy that because of the legacy that they have. You know, we went from this is the only thing that we could do to we're choosing it to the alumni that come from all HBCUs, not just D Winston-Salem State. We got some good alumni, you know, and just like the fact that they can be here for millions of years to come. That just it warms my heart. After I'm gone, like Winston will still be here, so it's amazing. So
Skell, I'm not kidding. You need to make a shirt that says the Black progression. Everything you say goes back to your desire for Black progression. Thank you so
oh,
much for being my guest.
thank you for
And
having me. Thank you for
absolutely,
working with me and like my
absolutely.
crazy schedule. God, like
You're amazing. You're amazing.
no,
You
you're
are
amazing.
amazing. Yours an
This platform
HBCU
is
love
amazing.
world. See you next episode.
You've been listening to I Love My HBCU question mark. Let's keep the conversation going as we share our stories and encourage more practical support of HBCUs, whilst of course holding each other accountable. Don't forget to follow and subscribe for the latest episodes. Until next time, love and lift your HBCU.